Hello my witchy friends, welcome to the channel, or welcome back if you are a returning subscriber. My name is Sophie, I'm the Midwest Magician, and today I wanted to show you guys my magical cat room, also known as the witchy room. Just a disclaimer or two before we dive into the room tour. The room is not entirely finished, and let me explain why. My husband and I both work full-time, and most of the things in this witchy room have either been built by my husband or have been found secondhand through thrifting or Facebook Marketplace. We're really trying to be intentional and sustainable with the creation of this room, and honestly that's how we are with our entire house. So as we kind of curate and put things together, I can definitely give you guys updates, but it's not entirely done, so do keep that in mind as I show you the room. I do also just want to shout out my husband and give him the most genuine thanks for kind of bringing this room to life for me. He's the one that really pushed for me to have this space. He took time off to build things in here for me and for my cats, so he is a really big part of the reason that this room is so magical and special to me. So thank you so much. I love you, and the cats love this room, and I love this room, and I know even just with time it's going to get better and better. I waited to start filming this until the sun started setting because I wanted you to get the full effect of the room with the moody like candle lighting and the warm lighting. I just feel like it makes the room extra magical. And as we go through, if there are things that I can link, I will link in the description box down below so you can get yourself things that you see and like in here. I don't have affiliations with anything. I have no commission codes or anything like that. I'm not sure how much will actually be tagged in the description, just because, like I said, most of this stuff we've either thrifted, found secondhand, or we've just made ourselves and upcycled and things like that. So I'm not sure how much I'll actually be able to put in the description, but I will definitely, as we go through, link some things down below if I can. And with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the magical cat room tour. So this room had been sitting empty aside from the cats' litter boxes and their food in another portion of the room for almost 2 years. And I used to have a desk in here and just my witchy stuff all in boxes when we first moved in. I slowly moved it into the hutch in another room in the house, but I found it hard to completely be able to do all of my magic in that one little space. So over time, my husband finally did convince me to let him give this room a makeover and turn it into a magical place for myself. However, I did have some reservations. I really wanted to make sure I wasn't taking anything away from the cats, since this was kind of their space with some of our boxes in it. So he very graciously and generously brought them into the mix with his plans, and I'll kind of show you everything that he has set up for the cats so far. And there will be more stuff added over time for the cats too, but we need to do some planning and probably some construction for that. Now that you've kind of seen the layout of the room, let's dive into kind of little sections and we'll talk about them. I don't know how to film a room tour. Bear with me. So here is the gallery wall. If you remember from my Chicago vlog, I told y'all I was gonna do something with that sword that I got from the Sideshow Gallery. So I made this frame to display it, and I've anointed it with some Archangel St. Michael oil for protection. I also did something with this Krampus ornament from the Sideshow Gallery. I believe the creator of this Krampus is Gravedigger Candles. I'll try to have their Etsy linked down below. I found this beautiful mirror at Goodwill. It is so heavy, y'all. It looks like it would be light and tiny, but it is so heavy. These sconces I found at Goodwill as well. And then this I actually made myself. So this frame was at Goodwill, and underneath the mini tarot cards that I added in is actually a picture of a bathtub. So I was like, tarot cards would look way cooler than a bathtub. This is something that my husband had gotten me for Christmas. I really love vintage pressed flowers, and I'm also really into moss. I'd gotten these frames from the Dollar Tree, and I just used some rub and buff antique gold on them, and then I added dried moss just to give them a really cool kind of cottagecore outdoorsy vibe. But this gallery wall took a while to curate and put together. I think mostly because I ended up making a lot of the things for it. My husband did the staining of the Krampus plaque. This is actually an ornament, but we stained a plaque and then he attached Krampus onto it. But it was a lot of fun to put this together. I'll try to insert some photos of me creating that sword piece, sorry if it'll focus, the sword piece and the tarot piece. I'll try to include some photos of that as well. The next piece of the room that I want to talk about is just this kind of like corner nook area. I have to like be out of the room to show it. This chair I need to replace. I'm searching everywhere on secondhand websites and things like that, Facebook Marketplace, for a different chair for this little spot, because I bought that off of Wayfair when I first moved into a condo like 10 years ago, and it's the worst piece of furniture I've ever purchased. It's so uncomfortable. Do not recommend. There's no springs. It just sits. It's just a cushion on a piece of wood. There's no springs. It's the least comfortable thing I've ever sat in. We have down here a little tent for the cats to hide in. And then I found these curtains also at Goodwill. Believe it or not, still in their packaging. The only thing missing was little tassels, so I did have to be creative and make my own things to tie back the curtains. But I was really excited about that find. And then moving along, we have these pillars with these adorable little baby cherubs on them. I don't do a lot of work with cherubs, but I would like to learn more about them to kind of incorporate them in my practice. I found these guys and they were like $3. They're huge, they're massive cherubs, and they were $3. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I never have cared about cherubs or little angel babies or anything like that before. But when I saw them, I was like, they belong with me. Now, these pillars come with a hilarious story that is kind of embarrassing. So I'll tell you the story, but you can't judge me too harshly. I'm gonna sit down on the floor to tell you the story of the pillars so you can see my face. I found these on Facebook Marketplace. The price was right, and they were a couple of towns over. So on a day that we could go drive to get them, we set up the meeting. I let the guy know we were there, and we pull up to the house, and it is like, I've never seen anything like it before. There are like things all over the lawn, and there's signs hanging everywhere, like those goofy like metal signs that say silly things. And right on the front porch, there was one zip tied to the railings, and it had an arrow pointing to the front door, and it said fart zone. And I thought that was the funniest thing I've ever seen. I was like, the fart zone. Oh my God, we're going to the fart zone to get our pillars. So I told the guy, I was like, I think that sign is so funny, because like, who doesn't think farts are funny? Anyways, I was like, I love your fart zone sign. That is so hilarious. And he just like straight faced, like, this is my grandma's house. Like, okay, I'm so sorry. I still like the fart zone sign. I don't know what to tell you. But that is the story of these pillars. So the next portion that I want to talk about is this adorable little book nook. We do have the bookshelves right here, so I can grab a book and hang out on this little book nook. And the cool thing about this is that there's actually 2 secret entrances. I don't know if you can see it. It's a little dark, but there's a hole cut in right there. And there's also one on the other side over here. So the cats can go in and out of underneath here. And that is where we house some of their litter boxes. And the coolest part is that my husband made a hinge. So this whole top part opens up and hooks onto a latch on the wall. So that holds itself up while we clean the boxes, vacuum in there, and get everything all tidy for the cats. I'm gonna turn on the light just a little bit so you can see better. We handmade the cushions. They're not incredible. Freya broke our sewing machine, so we had to kind of hand sew the pillows. Once we have a better sewing machine, we will fix those up a little bit, but it is super comfortable. We have like mattress topper foam on the bottom, and then I found these pillows and we just created new pillowcases for them. I did find this painting secondhand as well, and I thought it fit this room so perfectly. For one, it's a little cottage in the woods, and I love being a little hermit witch in the woods. And for two, it's all blue, and this is a very blue room. I don't know if you noticed that. It's a very blue room. So I thought it just fit so perfect in this space. The next thing I wanted to show you was my little Archangel Michael altar. It's super tiny, but I found this. I'll insert some pictures too. I found this secondhand. I tried to cover these little holes up as best as I could. I'm gonna have to go back in and do that again. But this was all white, and these holes were all like hanging hooks. So I think somebody used to hang their jewelry off of it or something. But I cleaned it up the best I could. I covered it with rub and buff, and I made it into a gold shelf for Archangel Michael. Now his candle is almost gone. I do have another one ready to go. I have a rosary here for him. And then I do also have a prayer card. It came with some Archangel Michael oil that I purchased on Etsy. I'll have that linked down below because it is a Chicago-based seller, so I was really excited to find her Etsy shop. She's great. She has amazing customer service. Nothing but great things to say about her shop. I'm not sure if these lamps are going to be staying. I thought they were a lot cuter online, but they're not the best quality, so I'm not entirely sure. Not sold on it. That's why I haven't painted this kind of cord cover just yet, because I'm not sure if this is going to stay or what the deal is with these little lamps. So moving along to the bookshelves, these do look a little bit better without the light on. However, with a camera, you need supplemental light. So this is the lighting that we're working with right now. But these bookshelves, my husband actually made them by hand. So that took him a couple of days worth of woodworking and putting things together. But he made them in a way that the cats could run up to their cat tree, jump on their 2 shelves over here, and up on top of the bookshelf. So they have a spot to hang out. And of course, now that I'm filming, none of the cats are to be seen. But I will try to capture some footage of them running up the stairs to the top of the bookshelf at a later time, and I'll insert it somewhere in here. I really like how he included these beautiful little ornate corners, and he did actually also include those on the bench as well to kind of tie everything together. I'm not going to show you all of the shelves. I do have my singing bowl. I made this little moss picture, and I have a nice rock and a crystal and a little mushroom up here. I guess I will show you the whole bookshelf. I thrifted this frame, and we had gotten a pack of postcards, like postcards and vintage items from Salem when we went on our trip. So I just threw one of the little vintage cards in there. Thought that was super cute. I have a little cauldron and a silver dish. I have some oracle cards. I had gotten these ones at a garage sale, and the reason that I ended up actually purchasing them is because the first card that I pulled out of it at the garage sale was Archangel Michael. So I said, okay, how much. I have my selenite here, and I have a little box that I do some manifestations with. It's brass. This shelf, I have some plants propagating. Once they have their roots kind of ready to go, I will be putting those in the soil. I have a picture of my husband and I on here from our engagement photo shoot. Some more plants propagating. That's my first ever tarot deck. I had found this vintage box and decided that it needed some glam. It's just the basic Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And then I keep a big chunk of quartz in here as well, just to kind of keep the cards nice and charged and activated, but it's just the basic Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And then I have some journals. This shelf, I need to get some plants to put in here. Maybe once these take root, I'll put them in here. This shelf I need to organize, and I need to put these two in my kitchen so I can start working with them. I have the Sigil Witchery Oracle, and I have my little rag doll that I made to work with Baba Yaga. I have this spell dish that I need to clean really badly. I actually need to clean it before I do a ritual tonight, and just a little candle holder. So that is bookshelf number 1. I do have this bookshelf as well. We have a skull candle, and I had gotten this terrarium as a Christmas gift. It's got the moss, it's got clovers. I think it's beautiful. We found this mantle clock while we were thrifting one day, and I just thought it was so beautiful and ornate. I thought it would be perfect for the bookshelf. I have some books over here. I have, I thrifted, everything's thrifted, I swear guys. I'm a thrifter through and through. I thrifted this frame, and then this is actually wrapping paper that I found, and I thought it was so pretty. This plant has already taken root, but I'm leaving it in here because I just think it looks so nice on the shelf and we get really good light. This is my wand that I made on my last retreat with my coven. My first retreat, I should say. The last one I went to, and the first one that I went to. We have another one coming up soon. I'm very excited for that. I do have a little Ouija board back here. I've actually never used this one. It's quite tiny, and I just kind of got it for decor. And then I have my little witch's boot. I have a Lover's tarot box, and then I have a tiny spell jar. Oh, can you see it? The tiniest little spell jar. This is one of the first spells I ever did. I had made 3 of them for my cats, and that is the only one I know where it is. So I threw it up on the bookshelf for my kitties. And this shelf I have, I don't know if you can tell, it's a little taxidermied bat in a lantern. I call him Grandpa because of the Munsters. Got some crystals, a lucky 4-leaf clover. I need to find something to put in this frame. This is what I mean when I'm telling you guys, this room is not done, not even a little bit. I think I showed this off in another video in my Chicago vlog, I believe. This was also a Christmas present, pressed vintage flowers. I'd actually made these bookends. Here's the other one, it's a little froggy. But I made these bookends for my husband, and he ended up putting them in here. I have some more plants taking root. This is the planchette for this board, which I was kind of disappointed when it came in because the color doesn't match at all. But I digress. I'm just using it as decor, and I don't think you're supposed to keep your planchettes with your boards anyways, so it's fine. This next shelf, I have my Baba Yaga book, my Lost Oracle. I thought this was the coolest candle holder, and it actually is keeping my books and cards from falling. Again, another super ornate frame. I need to find a picture that is small enough to put in here. And then if you know, you know, with the foot and the candle. Now this, I'm gonna have to pull this out and actually show you because this was handmade for me. Let me grab it and I'll show you. Look at how absolutely gorgeous and it's a huge board. I can't wait. This is way better than the one that I had bought for decor purposes. Well, for so many reasons, it's way better. It's just absolutely beautiful. They are so talented. Everything they did just by hand, like no stencils, nothing. Everything is by hand, all wood burned on here. They put a nice felt backing on this, and then, oh, like I said, I keep planchettes separate. So when I get to the planchette in this room, I will show you those two together. But isn't this just a dream? It's a dream. It's so beautiful. And the stain, I was like, I wasn't sure at first. They sent me kind of like some ideas, and on the chart I saw this like green stain, and I was like, am I totally kooky for wanting a green stain? And they were super encouraging. I'm so glad that we went with the green because I feel like it really just kind of ties in with like all of the moss and naturey elements of this room. But I'm so excited. I need to consecrate this and get using it. So I will have their shop link down below. Their Instagram is called That Weird Druid, and actually this artist is Ivy Corvus's cousin. I think they've been in a couple of Ivy's videos, and they're definitely in the Coven collab that we all did together. But let me put this back and I will keep showing you the last of this shelf. All right, so it's back up on the shelf. Here I have this abalone. I'm not sure if it's abalone or abalone. I need to clean it, but this was my grandmother's, so it really does mean a lot to me that she passed it down to me. I have the Midnight Magic Tarot deck. I'm obsessed. This is such a beautiful deck. If you want a review, let me know. I have a couple more books, and then I have my Athame. I don't know if you say it, Athame, Athame, however you decide to pronounce it. I made this one myself. And it is a selenite with some tiger's eye, some leather cord and rose quartz. I have a nice chunky quartz. My father-in-law made me these candlestick holders. And that is everything that I'm going to show. I'm not going to do the last couple bookshelves because it's supplies for projects that I'm working on. But there's my bookshelves. And then we have my little matching cherub here with the pillar from the fart zone. And then down here we just have a cat water fountain. We have all of their toys. I need to go through and organize this because I'll just throw them in there as I find them. And then we have their cat tree, which needs some attention. I'd like to rewrap this section and this section just kind of with like a nice sturdy rope. And then hopefully I can get a video of Freya running up and down here because she loves this. She will just run back and forth and up and down and up and down. She goes nutty on this. And then the last little section is just gonna be my desk. So I have my lamp here. I have this antique little porcelain crescent dish. And I don't know if you guys know this, but these are not actually moons. These would be put next to dinner plates, and you would put your chicken bones, rib bones, any kind of animal bones from your meal would go here, so you could set it away from the meal that you're currently eating. Fun trivia if you don't know about these dishes. I'm not really gonna show much of what is on my cork board here. What I will show you is my planchette that goes with the spirit board. I absolutely love the moon phases on here. And then look at this adorable little skull. I think they said it was a mouse, but this also has felt on the back so it can slide and glide very easily on the board. How absolutely gorgeous is this set? I will have their Instagram linked down below, like I said, but it's just so fun. I'm gonna go put this back though. I don't know if that's familiar to anybody. I'll link the video where I make it somewhere on the screen here. Are you gonna play up on the thing? So I have another handmade candlestick holder from my father-in-law. I have some dark forest spray for some workings that I've been doing. I'll have this Etsy shop linked down below as well. I really like their incense and their sprays. They're just awesome. I keep, oh, there she goes. Are you gonna go up? Go up on the shelves. Come on. Go up on the shelves. Show everybody. She might just sit there for a bit and watch. I do keep candles at the ready. I just got in this glass vase at Goodwill and stuffed it with candles. These I actually also got at Goodwill. And then these are all actually handmade beeswax birthday candles. They don't burn as quickly as I imagined that they would, which is really kind of nice for workings that I've been doing lately. And then here is my black mirror. I made this myself and I absolutely love it. I need to start working with it a little bit more. And if you want, I can make a video kind of talking about what I use a black mirror for. I have a candle working that I've been doing. And then over here, I mostly just keep kind of like my ritual oils, and I have some black salt over here that I made. I can show you the oils. This one actually Ivy Corvus made for our group. Look at how beautiful that is. I know she talked about it online and Justin did too, so I feel okay showing you guys this. I have my fake blood that has been getting quite a lot of use. If you guys want the recipe, I will link that video somewhere here on the screen and down below. I also have a luck oil that I have been working a lot with, and it is quite lucky. I think I make it in a chatty video, so I'll try to link that one somewhere on the screen as well as down below too. I recently went to a store called Hoof and Horn. That's also where I got that chicken foot and that Baba Yaga candle. I'll link that website down below. They're a super cool store. I'm not sure if I met the owner, but whoever I met was so kind, so just really nice, good people. And this is Hoof and Horn. I have this rosary that my husband had made for me. It's got a sword on here as well. So this is kind of like for protection. I need to consecrate it still. Here is that Archangel Michael oil that I was telling you about before. And I will link their Etsy shop down below as well. And then I do have some oils that I have created for myself and for my Etsy shop. They're not done yet. I'm testing these ones out for myself first before I release the other ones. I have 3 different ones that I've been crafting, so I will announce that at a later date, but it's just something fun that I've been working on. And then this last little tier of this thingy is just kind of my catch-all. I have some freebies that I had gotten from Etsy shops. I have my candle trimmers here, and then I have this little porcupine quill. And I like to use this for writing on my candles or poking holes in candles like these ones, and then adding oils and things like that, just to keep it a little bit safer than keeping the oil by the flame. This is my personal pendulum. I made this as well, and I do have pendulums that I made in my Etsy shop, so if you're interested. And then I have this pendulum board. If you're seeing a theme here with my boards, I love the Death's Head moth. I just have a really strong connection to it, and so everything that I've been getting has the Death's Head moth on it. Here's my actual desk. I found this one on Facebook Marketplace, and trying to pull it out of the truck that I rented, I ripped a hole in my pants and gashed my knee and had to go to the urgent care to get a tetanus shot, so that was really fun. But I love the desk. I just gave it a little blood sacrifice. Hopefully this footage is usable. Like I said, this room is a work in progress. It takes a really long time to kind of fill and curate a room when you're being sustainable and being intentional about what you're bringing into the home. As you can see, I really do, as much as I can, like to support individual artists over larger corporations, which is why I will have a ton of Etsy shops linked down below, as well as some local Chicagoland area shops that you can take a look at. I do also have another set of bookshelves in a different area of the house. So if you're wondering where all the books are that I just talked about in my last video, the books that I'm going to be reading this year, not all of my books are in this room. These bookshelves are a little bit more like stylized and cutesy, boutique-y looking. And they actually have quite a lot of space. So there are things that are hidden behind other things that you really can't see on the shelves. So there's a lot of secret storage in there too. There she goes! I got you on camera! Kind of. Come up here on the top. Come on. Come on. Whoop, there she goes. She loves it up there. I think I'm gonna put some little scratching cardboard thingies up here for her, but she's really the main cat that climbs up on top of the bookshelf, but she really likes to be high up. So yeah, it's special for her. Oh, you gonna climb down? I do really want this to be a place where the cats can come and feel welcome and feel happy to be in here. I know all the time I'll come home and Harley, Poe, and Tom will be sleeping on this bench. You can see Mason. Mason's over here right now, hiding on the bookshelf. They just like to come and hang out in this space, and that was really the intention. Again, I didn't want to take anything away from the cats. I really just wanted them to feel like this is still their space and a place that they can come hang out and scratch stuff up and not get in trouble for it and whatever. I think that we can say mission accomplished on that one. Right, Mason? I hope this video was interesting for you to watch. I'm sorry, I don't really know how to film a room tour, so hopefully my next one with updates will be a little bit less rocky. I think this room at night looks so much more magical, but it's kind of hard to capture that on camera because, as you can see, with no additional lighting, the bookshelves are a little bit hard to see. So next time I will film the bookshelves during the day, or at least during golden hour at the very least. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you made it to the end, if you made it this far, I love to see who watches until the end of the video. Can you leave a little sword emoji? So that's kind of a theme going on throughout the room. We have a lot of Archangel Michael, we have a lot of swords. So leave me a little sword or a dagger emoji down in the comments below if you made it this far. And I will see you guys for the next one. Bye.